Morning Cruise here at the Joy FM with David Crowder this morning.
So you fell in love with music in college, is that correct?
Yeah, well, yes, yes. And I fell in love with music early on in life, but I didn't really see it as something I would be doing until my junior year of college. And it was just, I got asked to help with a church start, and loving music. Then I started getting to help, with the Sunday morning get-togethers.
I found an old article from 2016.
Okay, I remember that year.
You described your love of music in 2016 as a sickness, which I love. Because it carries the idea that there was something contagious that caught you, and look where you are today, sitting here with another number one single in your life. But one of the things that the article kind of brought out is the journey that some people have where you're kind of, mom and dad thought it would be a good idea to get me piano lessons.
Yep.
And I had to learn to read music, and maybe I did or didn't learn to read music. And then I kind of think, well, this is just not much fun. And then all of a sudden something happens and the contagion hits and you fall in love with this. So I love the idea of the whole theory and reality sort of coming together to create somebody's musical love. That comes through on your records. You were talking a little bit off the air about how you think a lot about what's happening sonically in your music. I think this happens to us a little bit in the spiritual walk as well, in the Christian life, where we've got some theology over here, we've got some experience over here, but when those two things come together, it gets real. It gets real, and it gets thick. It gets beautiful. With your song Dash, which is the second song on the record, you're talking about that very thing, living in the in-between time, somewhere between Take Me Down to the River and I'll Fly Away, right? Our life is lived in between those two things, and that's what you get in Dash. But you've got a line in this song that says, I want a dash that's dirty, a life fully spent, weathered and scarred from all the life that I lived. Tell us about the dash.
Well, it came on a Sunday morning. The whole song fell out of sitting there in Atlanta, Georgia, at PCC, my church I go to, Passion City Church, and our pastor Louie Giglio is up there speaking about incredible.
The best.
So many times a line will fall out of his mouth that just changes the course of my life. And this is one of those Sundays where he's up there talking about his dad passing. And it hits him that he's, every gravestone is going to look the same. We can come up with whatever clever little, epitaph we want to put, but you got the year you're born, you got the year you're done, and in between's just this little line. And as soon as he said there's just this little line, I was like, that's a song. And don't tell him I didn't hear much of the rest of the sermon. But this song came out.
He put it in a book, too, so you can read it.
That's true. So this song fell out, and Toby Mac, we were on the road with him for a couple of years, where he's just, I feel like, done such an amazing job of letting us in to see how you carry moments that are really, really heavy and difficult, especially when it comes to our mortal state. And I could not think of anybody better on the planet than to have collaborate on a song that's talking about that. What do you do? What do you do at this time, this bit of breath that you have? And because it's so brief. And so those lines that you quoted right there, that's straight out of, that's Toby Mac right there. And all he did was, after hearing me send a real rough of the deal, he spit back what we call in the industry bars. He sent me back his bars because we got him rapping again. Thank goodness for planet Earth. So it's just in a text message, and pretty much the lyric he sent back did not change at all for what you hear on the album, because it was like, of course, that is exactly what I would want to say. You put all the flesh around these, nice melodies, and the idea that Louie presented, and Toby just fleshed it out in a way that I think it
Wow.
yeah, it's a powerful statement that he's making there.
I love it. And just to make sure, in case anyone's keeping score, I've basically told David now that my favorite line from his book is a line that was actually written by Kurt
someone
Fussell.
else.
One of my
And
favorite
my
lines from the
lyrics
new
is
record
Toby's.
is Toby.
That's how I roll, bro.
I'm 0 for 2, man.
That's how I roll.
Thanks for coming, though.
Yeah.
You
That's
have a
awesome.
great personality.
Oh,
Perfect.
Lord.
That's perfect.
Okay.